Morning, everyone. I thought I'd do something a little different today. I thought we'd talk about the equipment, a brief 1, 2, 3 minute review or pros and cons of each piece of equipment that I own here. So it's December 1st, end of the season's pretty much on us. So I may have 2 or 3, 4 days left to do some odd jobs to finish up the season. So end of season, a little review on what I've used this year. And we'll get started. So the Ariens, I have an Ariens snow thrower, 32 inch, so the season's coming up for that. The controls are really good on it, like the heated grips. It's the Ariens 32 inch Pro. So pretty happy with that. I think the belts are a little undersized. I've used 3 or 4 of these or more of these snow throwers, 36, 32 inch. Motor's good, power's good. I usually lube spray WD-40 or some lubricant on the chute and stuff inside the chute, and that's a little tip for y'all. Helps throw the snow and ice build up, so I do that every time I go to use it on a job. Or for the day. I don't do it every job, but every day. Little thing I've found that I really like is these plastic snowshoes on the side. They're usually metal. I find the plastic glide a little bit better and last a little longer. So if you can find them, I think they're made, I'm not sure where they're made. If I can figure that out, I'll let you know, but maybe just Google it. Plastic shoes for the snow throwers. So I've got a couple pairs, so that's worked really well. And as usual, if you have any questions or comments on your setup, or if you have something, let me know. So that's it on the Ariens. Pretty good unit overall. Belts are a little small. They seem to tear up a little on the easier side. So upgrade the shoes are positive. My John Deere power washer's got the Honda motor. I think it's 8 horse. It's hard to see back here in the corner. But don't use it much, a couple times a year. Thoughts on that? Good unit, does what it does. No complaints, nothing to really say. It starts very good. The Honda motors are excellent. Good unit. So next we got the Toro Time Master. I've had 3 or 4 of these. Had a Exmart commercial unit, which is very similar. Kind of like the Time Master overall, because the big feature I like is I like this personal pace. Works really well. The downside, it's got a ridiculously small tank, which I've solved by mounting the commercial tank on here. As you see, that's a 1-gallon tank. Also, the pulleys aren't very good, and I've mounted commercial solid pulleys, so it's well documented. I've got other videos about that. But the personal pace, the 30 inch, and the larger bag is really very nice. So the transmissions are another sore spot. I've used this one over here has been used this year, so it's held up through the year in that regard. And the gas tank's just a huge plus, and I've really enjoyed the larger bag for the fall bagging of the leaves. You can get quite a bit in there. So that's the take on that. Like I said, the width is good, and the personal pace, and the motor's been pretty solid. Doesn't bog. Does what it does. Does what it needs to do, and doesn't burn oil or hasn't blown up on me. Little pet peeve or aggravation is these little bars, which I pointed out there. You can see under the deck. That seems to catch on everything. If you got a low spot in the yard or a root, I don't know if they structurally do something or are supposed to protect the deck, but if I was going to continue, I would cut them off, or at least consider that, because they just aggravate you and hang up on things. But with them, a couple fixes that I've done, it's been a pretty good unit. And would I buy it again? Yes, I would. So I think with the upgrades, I think I got near $2,000 in them, because it's $100 some for the gas tank and probably another 130 or something for the pulleys. And it's turned it into a workable unit with them 2 upgrades. My Anderson spreader I have, it's been good. It's mostly stainless steel, so that's good. Keeps it from rusting. The hopper's been pretty good. Pretty good unit. My only complaint, I wish the handles were a little, they're kind of out and slightly down, but I'd like to see them more down and maybe extended, adjustable, where you know, I'm 6'4", so I think if you're under, you know, 6 foot or something, 5'5" to 6 foot, it's maybe a much better unit. But I don't like the way the handles are placed like that. I wish they were angled down more, a couple more inches or something, be more comfortable, and then a little longer handle or something adjustable. But overall, it's been pretty good. They're pretty pricey. I think I gave $700-ish for this unit, and that was probably 8 years ago. So that's it on that. So over here we got the Billy Goat with the 13 horsepower Honda. So this is one of their, I think it's the second biggest push model in their line. And it's pretty good, very powerful. The motor's great. My complaints with that, it's a little tipsy because it's got a narrow wheelbase and then only 3 wheels. And so on uneven ground or any type of hillside, it wants to tip over relatively easy, high center of gravity. I've cut the chute a little bit to make the opening bigger, because I like how that blows larger piles of leaves, and it seems to keep it from the wind whipping it back on me as much. So it works pretty good. So that's a little modification I did. I opened up the tube there. So good unit. Other than that, just a bit tipsy, and it's low to the ground up here, the frame. I don't know if you can see it, but under there, I think you got 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. And that tends to catch on the lawn if it's a low spot or root or whatever. So that's some issues I've had with that. So tipsy and a little low to the ground on the frame. Motor's great, the power's great. Like it, I'd buy it again. Over here we'll go to jump to the wheelbarrow. A.M. Leonard 6 cubic feet or whatever it is. Yeah, feet. I don't know if you can see that there. Excellent wheelbarrow, love the plastic. It's very durable, handles are pretty good. Pretty good unit. I think they're about $250, $300 range. Fairly light, you can pick them up, so that's the feature I like the most, is it's a lot lighter than a steel one. So that's about all I can say about that. Here we have the Ferris. I'm still using the walk behind. I know I'm a dinosaur in the mower department, but like the walk behinds. I'm a solo. Got a 52-inch Ferris with the Vanguard 28 EFI motor. Love that. It's really extremely powerful and pulls your butt around. It's excellent. This also has the oil guard here system, and that's just excellent. Can't say enough. I think that should be on every mower personally. Helps, you know, plenty of lubrication, because you have like 4 quarts instead of 1 or maybe 2, and also aids in cooling the motor. It's like an oil cooler essentially. And so you're almost never going to run out of oil. Now I've got a sulky on here. This is the Pro sulky. Really like it. it stays in one one spot. It doesn't turn left or right, but the wheels pivot, as you can see here. So I've got 3 of them, been very happy with them. Controls are very friendly and easy on the hands. So it's got the central controls, I think they call it hand grip. So like it, it's worked real well. It's got the bigger tires. I think they're 20-inch rear tires. So it's a modern day. Most of the manufacturers have done not much of anything with the walk behinds, but Ferris is one that's, you know, kept it updated and current. It's got a big motor. They've modernized it. So excellent mower. There's nothing that I can't cut with it, you know, on any type of slope. That's what I have it for. Is I'm solo, so I need a machine that can cut around a pond, a steep embankment, wet grass, rooted. It just goes everywhere. And a lot of the other units that I've tried, the stand-ons and zero turns and stuff, there's always a spot where you feel like you're going to die on it somewhere. I see guys really, you know, do amazing things with them, but they make me uncomfortable in certain spots. And being solo, I just rather have a machine that I feel comfortable on and can, you know, being solo, I don't want to have 2, 3, 20,000, you know, $10,000 machines to do a job. I just whip this out, and it's you know, does everything decently and in a timely manner. So that's my take on that. I wish they had more anti-scalp rollers. There's one here, but they have none on the other side. So I think they could improve that. So on this side, there's none, which doesn't make sense. You'd think there'd be something. So there's one on that side and one on the front. There might be something underneath, but there's nothing over here. So it's not a huge issue, but something to think about. Over here we have the steel hedge trimmer, gas-powered HS 82T. Been really happy, been using them for about 10 plus years or more. You know, not too much. Still has a lot of their equipment I have already been using. I use a lot of Stihl equipment, but they've been, you know, suffering from vapor lock. When it gets 85, 95 degrees and humid in the summertime, so it's been an issue for me with most of their equipment. So it's an ongoing problem. Other than that, I like it and would use it again. So that's that. I've got a couple of them and been using that model, like I said, for about 10 plus years. So I think that's a 32-inch or something bar on it. So no complaints, buy it again. Over here we have a Echo, the big boy, baddest blower on the market as far as power, in my opinion. What I do like is the power. I think the styling's nice. It's a nice looking, the orange and black. It looks, you know, like a bad boy blower. Not that I know there's a bad boy brand, but it just looks like a serious piece of equipment, which it is. Things I don't like is it is the loudest blower I've ever used, and I've not modified it in any way, but it's just loud from the factory. Could live with it though. The chute is very rigid and stiff, and it binds here in the joint, and so it needs some work. A little bit heavy. Straps are okay. I wish they you know, stayed closer together. They tend to drop off my shoulder, but it might just be an issue for me personally. And I wish this was enclosed, because when I'm taking it off and out on the trailer or going through branches, all this stuff tends to catch on things. So, and over here we have this steel, and you can see it's an enclosed housing, so there's not much exposed to hit or to catch on things. Also, the steel has a much better, world's better, more comfortable tubing, which that's the downfall of the Echo, in my opinion. So that's that. And as we went over here to the Stihl BR 800, good unit, straps are wonderful, chute is fantastic, power's very good. It's not as powerful as the Echo. And I do prefer like the Echo motor. I'm not a big fan of the valves on the Stihls. You know, at some point, 6 months or a year, at some point they're going to need adjusted. And I know it only takes 10, 15, 20 minutes to do, but it's still a pain. You got to open this cover and fiddle with it. I said once you've done it a half a dozen times and you get comfortable with it, it's not so bad, but it's just another maintenance issue that you don't have like on the Echo motor style 2-stroke. This is they call it the 4MX 4-stroke. And so we won't get through everything. I also have a HT131 pole trimmer still. A very valuable piece. It's one of the most used chainsaws and pieces of equipment that I own. Just can't say enough good things about it. Just reach up, and the way, you know, you can trim, cut small trees, branches. Just an excellent piece of equipment. So I think we're going to wrap it up on that. And I have a Stihl 131R weed eater. When it's running good, it runs. I'm happy with the power. The head on it is fantastic that I put on it. It's got the Toro Echo manual feed head. Turns it into a beast. So I would highly recommend anybody upgrading their head to this unit here. They've been on the market for 35, 40 plus years. So I run them on all my weed eaters. That's my time on, that's not everything I own, but just wanted to kind of do a overall equipment review on most of the things and share that with you. And then you can have some comments if you have any questions or want to share some of your setup of thoughts on what you think, if you have something similar or what I'm using. Appreciate your time, and thanks for watching. Have a great day.